ولله ملك السماوات والأرض والأرض والله على كل شيء قدير. إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار. إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار. صدق الله العلي العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أحسنت. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وشفيع نفوسنا أبا القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الميامين المنتجبين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Eid Mubarak to you all on the auspicious Eid Al Mubahilah. Inshallah, we have a quiz after this, so I won't take too long. I won't take too long during this speech, but I'll just give a brief history about Eid Al Mubahilah, and then we want to answer some claims that have been circulating around on the internet, inshallah. Eid Al Mubahilah happened in the 9th year or 10th year after Hijrah. Maybe that's a quiz question, wherever Hassan is. Either 9th year or 10th year after Hijrah, closer to the Prophet's death. And how it happened, the Prophet was sending letters out to tell people about Islam and other things like about Jesus alayhi salam. One of the letters went to a group of Christians from Najran in southern Arabia. They received the letter and they decided, let's come to Medina and talk to the Prophet and discuss things. So they came, but it wasn't any ordinary Christians. It was their scholars, their priests, and their students. A whole delegation came. Yeah, it wasn't one or two people. It was a whole class of experts that came to see the Prophet. So what they wanted to discuss in particular was about Jesus alayhi salam. Whether Jesus was God, whether he was the Son of God, or has a divine status equal to God, meaning he's part of a Trinity. So when they came to the Prophet, peace be upon him, they started discussing these things. The Prophet gave his arguments, and one of the arguments was where Jesus had no father. Therefore, he has a holy status. Therefore, he must be God. Or he must be the Son of God even, or part of a Trinity, as they were saying. The Prophet kept talking back to them. Then the ayah of Quran came to the Prophet, and it says, مَثَلَ عِيسَى عِنْدَ اللَّهِ كَمَثَلَ آدَمَ خَلَقَهُ مِنْ تُرَابٍ ثُمَّ قَالَ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونَ. Meaning, the translation, indeed, the example of Jesus before Allah is that of Adam. He created him from what? From soil, turab. And then he said to him, be, and he came to existence. So if Jesus didn't have a father, this is the answer to that response. He should be God, according to the Christians. Well, Adam alayhi salam didn't have a father. He should also have that position. But in fact, he didn't even have a mother. He should even have a higher position if you want to use that same logic. In fact, Eve didn't even have a father and a mother. So she should also have that position. They didn't accept this. And back and forth with logical debates. They didn't accept. Another verse came down. And anyway, it kept going. And then the verse of Mubahilah was sent down. And we all know the verse of Mubahilah. I don't want to keep repeating each year what we say. But part of the verse, the Prophet says, okay, call upon your sons and our sons and your sons, our women and your women, ourselves and yourselves. Then we ask Allah to remove the mercy from the liars. Okay? That's what the verse was saying in English. So what happened? They agreed to a Mubahilah. Just a quick note there. Mubahilah wasn't normal. Now you talk to people, Mubahilah, oh, who uses curse, who uses this? The Christians accepted, they knew what it was. So it was a normal thing to, engage in these acts. Why? To prove who was the liar. So pretty much he's sending God's wrath on these people who are lying. Yeah? So one of the Christians, I got this from one of the books that was written about this, one of the Christian priests, he said, if Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi comes with his companions and a large crowd, then go ahead with the Mubahilah. Make sure you go ahead. If he comes with all these people. But if he comes with his closest family, then beware, because no truthful prophet will bring his dearest ones into danger unless he was certain of his truthfulness. One of the Christians said this. And who did the Prophet bring? Did he bring his companions? Did he bring a whole army of people? He had many followers. We know that he brought five. Five of them all up. The Prophet, peace be upon him. Sayyidah Fatima, Imam Ali, Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein. Just before the Mubahilah, in some narrations it says, ayah of Tathir came. They were sitting under a cloak. Not necessarily related to hadith of the cloak, but ayah of Tathir came down before they came. One of the Christians, when they saw them coming out, so they went to a part outside Medina to challenge in this Mubahilah. The Christians agreed. And as I said earlier, there were a group of Christian scholars. They weren't any ordinary people, yeah? One of the Christians, when they saw them coming from the hills, he said, surely I see the faces that if they pray to Allah to remove a mountain from its place, the mountain will surely be removed. He said, if you engage in mubahala with them, I warn you that all of you will be destroyed. So this is the Christian priest telling all his other Christian companions and delegation there, all of you will be destroyed, and I promise you, not a single Christian will remain on earth to the day of judgment. SubhanAllah. Christian was saying this because he saw something, he brought his own family there. Just a question here, why would the Prophet bring his family, yeah? The Christian knew this. I'm not sure if you can pick up a point here. If the Prophet had any doubts about his truthfulness, yeah, any doubt, he would have compromised his whole family's death. Yeah? This proves infallibility right here. Right here. This is one of the verses you can prove infallibility if you look closely through it. How? Because he wouldn't have risked his whole family's life. And if you're doing dua, let's just say we are doing dua together and there's a sinner among us, the dua will be compromised. But they went to do the dua, knowing that the truth was there, it wasn't compromised. But anyway, that was just a side story. I thought I'd say it beforehand. What we can learn from this, obviously we can learn many things. Abna'akum or abna'ana is who? Who's it referring to? Our sons is referring to who? Sayyid Ilyas. Who does it refer to? Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Nisa'ana. Who is it? Why is it plural? Why is it, Arabic grammar boy, why is it plural? MashaAllah, good answer. All the women of the world? There was one woman, but it's written in plural. Yeah? One woman, but this shows that the Quran can use plural sometimes for a singular. Yeah? This is obviously for the status of Sayyidah Fatima alayhi salam. And lastly, where's Imam Ali go? He's not with the sons and he's not with the women. And or unfusana, yeah, ourselves. Which means that he has the same, and we've got many verses to prove and add on to this, but I don't want to go off topic here. So Imam Ali alayhi salam was rewarded here to be the nafs of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. And as I said, there's many lessons we can derive from this, but I want to speak about something else. Recently, I've spoken about this last year, but I just want to add a little bit more to it, and maybe you forgot what we had spoken about last year. There's been these recent claims from modern Christians saying that the Mubahilah happened and it was actually a curse on the Prophet and his family. Meaning that the Mubahilah, what's Mubahilah again? You ask Allah to remove the mercy from the liars. They're saying that the Prophet was a liar, astaghfirullah, and his family, that's why such and such events happened to them. This is a new modern claim from the Christians. I just want to play a video. Do you have the TV on? Yeah. I just want to play a video. It just says Mubahilah video. Just a 2-minute video. I clipped it. It was 14 minutes. This video, by the way, has over 2 million views. It went so viral that people started believing in it. You know, I thought it was right to discuss it and make sure we even though they have no valid arguments, but they play around with words.
About the time frame of the Mubahilah effect. However, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani in his voluminous Fath al-Bari fi Sharh Sahih al-Bukhari wrote,
Some of the benefits of this hadith is that one can do mubahala with an opponent if he insists, after losing the argument. What is known by experience is that one who takes part in mubahala to support falsehood, will not survive its first anniversary.
The Mubahilah happened in October, 631 AD. Prophet Muhammad died a painful death on the 7th of June 632 AD, or before the completion of first year of the Mubahilah. Does it not raise serious questions on Prophet Muhammad's claim to be a true prophet, even by Islamic criteria? Sahih al-Bukhari 4428. Narrated Aisha, the Prophet in his ailment in which he died, used to say, O Aisha, I still feel the pain caused by the food I ate at Khaybar, and at this time, I feel as if my aorta is being cut from that poison. Prophet Muhammad died in the same way he prophesied he would die if he was a false prophet. Consider the following verse of the Quran. Quran, Surah Al-Haqqa, verse 44 to 46. Had the messenger made up something in our name, we would have certainly seized him by his right hand, then severed his aorta. The Bible proves Muhammad was a false prophet. The Mubahilah proves Muhammad was a false prophet. The Quran and the Hadiths prove Muhammad was a false prophet. Shortly after the death of Prophet Muhammad, Fatima, his daughter, was killed. 29 years after the death of Muhammad, Ali was also killed. 10 years later, it was Hassan's turn to meet his demise. 10 years later, it was Hussein's turn to meet his demise. Prophet Muhammad and the rest of his family that participated in the Mubahilah died under tragic circumstances. All of them were killed in unexpected ways.
So the Mubahilah, the way he says it is funny. Look, it's good to discuss these things because if some of us don't know, we might fall into the trap of rhetorics. And we know that a lot of Christians, and sorry to say this, as much as I have sympathy for many of them, they fall for these traps of rhetorics and false things. But we'll get to that. So the video is saying what? The 2 points there. Obviously this video was more than 20 minutes and all those pictures that were there, I pretty much took them out. They were very disrespectful. I put those ayahs there and the hadith there. So one of them was saying, one of the reports is saying, whoever engaged in the Mubahilah, according to Ibn al-Askari, what was his name? Asqalani, that's right. He was a tafsir of Bukhari, apparently. He had a tafsir of Bukhari or commentary of Bukhari. And he wrote that whoever engages in the Mubahilah and was the liar will not survive the first anniversary. That's the first claim that they had. And the second claim was, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, I feel, from a hadith from Aisha, I feel the poison that I ate from Khaybar feels like my aorta is being severed. And then they bring the Quranic verse, if he was a false prophet, who would have severed his aorta? So they're linking two together. What do we reply? Let's answer question number one. Question number one was, if you engage in the Mubahilah and you were a false prophet, you will not survive the first anniversary. What's the answer to that? Anyone? There's many answers. Yeah. He used the... yeah. Okay. So what's your evidence on that? That should happen straight away. Yeah. May la'na of Allah be on them. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the first answer I have here. Mubahilah didn't even happen. Exactly. So, where are these Christians getting their sources from? Actually, if you have a look in all Christian works, encyclopedias anywhere, there's no listing of Mubahilah. All the evidence comes from Islamic sources. So they have to use Islamic sources for answers. It didn't happen. So what's the point even talking about it? That's the first answer I have here as well. That's right. The second one, Hajj Ali I have a picture there that says months. Can you put that one up? They said he wouldn't survive the first anniversary. Okay, let's just put this on the screen. Okay, there's the Islamic months. Okay, Mubahilah happened when? Who was listening to the speech? I said it at the beginning. Who remembers? Yeah, 9th or 10th. Yeah. Let's assume it was 10th, the highest. When did the Prophet, peace be upon him, pass away? What year? 11. Okay, 11 in which month? Safar. Okay. So Mubahilah happened when? Which month did? Dhul Hijjah. Okay, how do you answer this question? So he said it wouldn't survive the first year. How? Prove it. So Dhul Hijjah. Safar is right next to Dhul Hijjah. Okay, but this is Dhul Hijjah. Where are you counting from? What's the first month? What's the first year of the month? Okay, so if you count from Dhul Hijjah, that's 10th year. If you're going to, Muharram is way up there, right? If you're assuming that it's Muharram, then what? It's only like 3 months and he passed away. So they're right. Is that what we're saying? 11th year Safar, but. Yeah, but it doesn't make sense what you're saying. But what you're saying, it means 3 months time from there. No, I'm saying it was 10. Yeah. It's only 2 months after, yeah. So, exactly, that's what I'm saying. But he's saying it was 11 months. How did he come up with that? Oh, 9th year. 9th year doesn't even make sense. Right, but it's not, I said let's assume the worst, 10th year. Anyone answer this? We answered this last year. Sheikh answered this one too. When was the Prophet's migration? Which month did the Prophet actually migrate? Hijr. Rabi' al-Awwal, yeah? That's the year we have to count. Count from Rabi' al-Awwal, it will be much more than a year. In fact, they said whoever engages in the Mubahilah won't survive a year. What about Imam Ali alayhi salam? Sayyidah Fatima, Imam Hassan? They died way after a year. So their claim is already gone. Okay, third point. They say that these things happened to the Prophet and that. Okay, what happened to the Christians? I don't even see their name existing in any book. They might have had a Mubahilah, a curse or a wrath upon them. But we don't know because the evidence comes from our sources. So what's the point of talking about it? If they're going to claim one thing, okay, I'll claim another thing. But they won't accept that. Fourth, the Prophet already knew that Imam Hussein alayhi salam will be martyred. Many hadith to support this. So you can't use this as an excuse, this is what happened because of the Mubahilah. The Prophet knew way before when he was born. So you can't use that as an excuse. Fifth, did it say whoever engages in the Mubahilah, death will come to them straight away? What's death got to do with this? It says la'an on them. Death, according to Islam, is a blessing. Being martyred is a blessing. So the second one, Hajj, if you don't mind bringing up the hadith and the Quran on the same screen. Can we do that? You can remove the mouse. So this is their second argument. Yep. Can someone read the Arabic from there? I can't see from here. Yep. Surah Al-Haqqa, isn't it? Surah Al-Haqqa. Yeah. Okay. And the hadith is there. Can we see the hadith as well?
The Quran does not say anything about the...
We can remove that and that one. Yep. Okay, the hadith says, I'll read it from here. Oh, Aisha, I still feel the pain caused by the food I ate at Khaybar. I feel as if my aorta is being cut from that poison. This is narrated in Bukhari. Now, what's the answer? How do we reply to this? Very good. So, two different words there. Yeah? One is watin from the Quran, the other one is what? Al-Abhari. I looked them up, they're both related, but they're not the same. So you can't use one word and apply it to another word. Can you see that one, Hajj? بخيبر. Okay. Poison. I say Khaybar there. Khaybar. So the story behind the hadith, a Jewish woman came and gave the Prophet food and he was poisoned. What year did Khaybar happen, by the way? Does anyone know? 7 AH. Okay. So what's Sheikh answered the first point, which is good. I had that here. I have 6 points or 5 points. Yep. That's another point I have here. It says as if. Exactly. So it's a feeling. It's like if I say figure of speech, it feels like my heart is being ripped out. It's a figure of speech. You know, once I used to do martial arts, and I took this supplement beforehand to get some energy. That night, I went to sleep. I felt like my heart was being ripped out. I actually used the same word.
It's in English, in fact. Everybody uses their stomach problem, their reflux as heartburn.
Yeah, heartburn. Yeah, exactly. Very good.
Your heart doesn't burn.
Yeah.
It's not burning at all.
Good, that's right. Okay, second answer. What else can we say? Now, from a ilm al-rijal perspective, this is fabricated, this hadith, that's for sure. But we're not talking about that for now. It's not even classified as any sahih, da'if, anything. They haven't even classified this. But 7 AH, the Prophet passes away 11 AH. Isn't it strange for a poison to go for 4 years? Poisons in those days, if you have a look at all the imams that drank the poison, a couple of hours, maybe 1 day, they all passed away. Very strange for a poison to happen 4 years, if it did happen.
There's a reason for that, but I can't say it.
There is another hadith about the Prophet being poisoning, but we're not talking about that now. I'm talking about this specific one. Yeah, I'm not talking about the one of Aisha and Hafsa. That's a different topic altogether. What other points do we have here? Anyone else want to say anything? I have a few other points here. Okay, another one is, Allah doesn't say, if being poisoned, okay, proves that you're on falsehood, therefore all the imams, even righteous prophets beforehand were poisoned, does that mean they're all wrong? What does poisoning have to do with being right or wrong? If it happened. In fact, if you were poisoned and you became a martyr on truth, that's the highest reward you can get. And I have one more point. Okay, yeah, one more point here. This narration, this Quranic verse was revealed at the beginning of the Prophet's life. So, what's the answer? I gave you the first part of it. If this narration, this verse, these ayat were revealed at the beginning of the Prophet's life, what does the Quran say? If he was a false prophet, I would have severed his aorta. What happened? Did the Prophet continue his message? Of course he did. For 23 years he continued his messages. And then what did Allah say at the end of his message? Today I have completed and perfected your religion for you. So, it doesn't make sense that, why didn't Allah cut his aorta from the start? If he was a false prophet. But that's all I wanted to say for now. Does anyone have any questions? Actually, I have one more point, sorry. One more point. Even at that time, there was plenty of scholars, Arab scholars who knew Arabic really well. They were masters at eloquence as well at that time. They didn't even bring up a silly argument like this. If it existed, they would have brought it up, but they know this as if. We can't use this. We'll look very silly if we bring up stuff like this. This is the problem when it comes to logic. You know, when I was saying that the Christians, they use rhetoric a lot, and it becomes a fallacy most of the time. This is how they get the Trinity. Can God do anything? What's your answer? What do we say in Islam? Can God do everything? Anything? Anything possible. You need that. Anything possible. Can Allah create another Allah? It's an impossibility. Why? Because the second God will need a beginning. Then the Christian replies, well, that's your God. Your God is weak. My God can do that if he wants to. But this God has a beginning. No, he can do it without a beginning. So I ask this Christian, can God do anything? Yeah. Can he stop his own existence? No. He has to exist. Well, you just said he can do anything. Yeah, he can't create it. He can't pick up a stone that he created. Yeah. But can God do anything? Can he bring it into existence? Yes. Can he remove existence? Yes. Can he remove his own existence and not exist? No, he can't do that. He has to stay alive. No, your God's not powerful. These are silly arguments. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam had one with one of these type of people. Can God, or I think it was Imam Ali alayhi salam actually, can God put an egg inside the earth? Yes, he can. There's eggs inside the earth, this whole earth. Can he put the earth inside the egg? Yeah, he can shrink the earth if he wanted to and put it inside the egg, yeah? But can he put the earth in the egg without shrinking the earth and without enlarging the egg? It's an impossibility. It has to be possible. It has to be logical. Allah's power has to come through logic and reason. That's why Allah gave us this reason. And, sorry? Someone said? It's a fallacy, yeah. It's a mughalata. It's a fallacy in logic. I once debated a Christian, yes?
I want to go back to Imam Ja'far Sadiq alayhi salam. Then he told him, when you looked at the world and the world more than
The eye.
bigger than your eye,
Yeah.
how come that you can see the whole
That's right, yeah.
inside your eye?
That's right. So he was talking to two different people at that time. One of them, obviously he talks to them at a different level. One of them asked a similar question to Imam Sadiq. I'll just repeat that. And he said, can God create all these things smaller than the eye? And he says, what do you see? I can't remember the companion's name. He said, let's go outside. What can you see? He goes, I see the mountains. I see the sky. I see the rivers. I see the trees, people, birds. He goes, the God that can put all these massive things in your eye, in your pupil, of course God can do anything that he wants. So you have to look at both arguments differently. And once this Christian came to me, I started the debate. I started to discuss with him about the Trinity. I said, listen, so I brought logic first of all, because I know they reject logic, most of them. What's 1 plus 1? I said, it's 2. He goes, wait. The discussion hasn't even started. He goes, that's according to you, it's 2. Someone else, it's 3. I said, this discussion is over, because if we can't have a common ground on logic, that's it. You're just going to go around in circles. You can't prove anything. Any questions before we start the great quiz, inshallah? No? All good. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.